I'm going to show you how to build a personal brand that brings in $20,000 per month using AI with just 3 simple phases. And the best part, with this system, you won't need to spend hours creating content that will get you 0 sales or need to spend $1,000 on ads just to sign a few clients. And it's the exact system that's helped Chaso hit his first $30,000 a month, has helped me earn over $300,000 a year, and helped Tappa scale to over $300,000 a month. And no, I'm not going to give you some weak AI prompts like give me 10 content ideas about marketing, because that shit doesn't work. I'm going to show you how to actually use AI the right way to grow faster, work less, and make a lot more. So let's get into it. Now, before you can make any money from your personal brand, you first need to actually grow a following of your exact ideal clients, and that's what phase 1 out of the 3 is all about. Now, most people are creating random content, hoping it goes viral, but do not do this. Please do not do this. What happens when a lot of people just copy, what's going viral in their niche, they try to recreate it, is that it leads to actually inconsistent messaging, the wrong people following you, and a hard time making sales. Trust me, I know this because this was me about 2 years ago. Instead, you need to create content that follows the buyer journey, which are the phases someone goes through before they actually buy your product. And most people don't have a strategy for this, but I do this using what I call a strategic content funnel, where all it is, it's basically 3 different types of content that have different purposes in this buyer journey to make someone more aware, to make them more aware of my product or service, and to build trust with them. Now, a good content funnel should consistently attract new followers and turn them into what I call true fans, which are people that know, like, and trust you, and then into buyers. And the content funnel I use is made up, again, 3 different types of content, and we'll go through all 3 of them first before we actually get into the AI stuff. So first is what I call engagement posts. So engagement posts, the goal of it is just to attract new followers, and these sit at the very top of this whole content funnel. And the main goal of them is just to get as many views as possible and attract new followers, because different types of content goes viral. The most viral content is always content that is very broad, that a wide audience can understand, and it's typically what I call, how-to content, like how to lose weight, how to gain muscle, how to make money, how to go get rich, That's the type of content that always goes viral, whatever platform you're on. So whatever how-to content you create, it should help people either achieve a desired goal or solve a pain point. And these are typically the best types of engagement posts you can create, like step-by-step guides, like the 5 steps I took to get to my first 1,000 followers, showcasing a hack, like here's a hack to automate your emails or something like that, showing different tools, like a listicle of tools, or just listicles in general, like the 7 editing techniques I use to make my video stand out. So here are some examples of engagement pieces of content that I've actually posted. I posted one here where I basically showed people a ChatGPT prompt to help them understand their, their user personas, basically their ideal clients, understand them a little bit more, and basically I gave this prompt away. Now the reason this is an engagement post is just because there wasn't too much tangible things out of this. Like anyone could have created this prompt. You can literally have ChatGPT make this prompt. I just created a video on this prompt and completely just gave it away, which increased the comments on the video. And as you can see, like this video alone got like 1.1 million views. And this one too, I basically just went over and I told people to stack these AI tools if they want to get more views. And I just showed 3 different AI tools and how to utilize them together. So the reason these are engagement posts is they really don't go into the deep problems that my ideal clients have, but my ideal clients, which are typically coaches, consultants, or business owners who want to grow through organic marketing, they might still find it helpful. It's still hugely broad to them. And so these did very well with the views. As you can see, 1.4 million and 1.1 million views. Now, whenever I create an engagement post, I typically follow this checklist. I never try to say how to actually. I always try to usually say how I, because talking from personal experience makes you seem more like an expert. I always try to keep the video length under 45 seconds because shorter videos do better on every single platform. I try to optimize for saves as much as possible, especially if it's an educational piece of content, because more saves usually means my video gets pushed out more, and I've seen this with a lot of other creators too. Always make it beginner friendly, like a 5th grade reading level, because the average reading level of people in the United States. And I always ask myself, would someone pay $5 for this advice? And if the answer is yes, it's a good piece of content. If the answer is no, it means I have to add a little more value into it to make the video really valuable to any viewer who watches it. So that is the first types of posts that you have to understand that you should post, which is engagement content. Again, very broad level of content, wide part of your niche can understand it, and these videos get the most views. They attract new followers onto your profile. The next type of post you should create is what I call an authority post. And the goal of these is to establish your expertise and really shift beliefs. Now, these posts don't focus on tactics as much. They more focus on shifting beliefs and explaining why something matters, because when you can make someone rethink their approach to actually getting results, you then become seen as a true expert and a leader in your space, and not just another creator throwing out tips, you can find on Google. Because again, like these 2 videos here I created, you can find these on Google. Like any other creator can create these. So that is why these videos, even though they get views, they attract people to my profile. They didn't do a good job at establishing my expertise. Now, the best types of authority posts that I found are big idea videos, where it's basically you're trying to push a big idea on someone to help shift their beliefs. Like, for example, why focusing on views is keeping you broke. That's one that I constantly try to push onto my viewers. Giving hot takes is a great authority post. Like, Instagram's not dying, you're just using it wrong. Talk about old way versus new way, basically shitting on the old way, people are getting results, and then showing your new improved way. And then also going to very deep struggles and giving a very in-depth value-based video to help solve that struggle. Those also work very well. And just to give you some examples of some authority-based content, I'd create a post here where I talked about how you need to stop posting educational content and post more insight, value-driven content that goes more into the why of things instead of like the how-to of things. That video did very well, got a lot of my ideal clients to follow and message me. And then even this one too, I talked about how you can make $1 million with less than 1,000 followers, trying to shift the beliefs of my viewers and ideal clients that you can make a lot of money with just a small following. So those were 2 examples there. And then checklist I follow for all my authority posts is I constantly try to challenge a common belief that's happening in my industry. I don't use any jargon. I try to still make it easier to understand, because when you go more in depth into certain aspects of your niche, you can tend to use terminology that many people don't understand. So you just want to just still simplify everything. I try to provide insights over just tips. Again, how-to content is more just tips. I want to provide insights and try to shift beliefs. And then I always try to share personal experience over generic advice. Okay. Now, third, personality posts. And we will get into the AI stuff really, really soon. Just want to say that. It is very important to understand these 3 types of content, because it's going to be useful for what's coming later. And again, this is like the real shit that actually makes people grow on social media and actually makes them money. Okay. So third is then personality posts. And the goal of personality posts is to really build trust and connection with your audience. Because the thing is, people don't just buy from experts. If they did, everyone would buy from Gary Vee, Alex Hormozi, Iman Ghazi, like the big dogs in the space. The thing is, people buy from people they like. And that's why there are tons of people out there with only 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 followers. They're making, 10, 20K a month, even 30K a month. Like, we had a student who literally had less than 3,000 followers, and she was able in her first course launch make around 10 to even 13K a month, which is crazy. And while, again, engagement authority posts, these typically will attract more attention, these types of posts. Personality posts really keep people coming back from you and make them feel connected to you. So if you notice, if you create a lot of personality posts, eventually you can almost talk about anything and those videos will still get views because people come back for you. And that's the best. When people actually really like you, they will spend money on you. Even if there's someone they think is better just because they relate to you more, they'll spend and buy from you. Now, the best types of personality posts that you can post are personal stories. Just talk about what's happening in your life and maybe some struggles or big wins that you had. Literally, I have it here, like vulnerable moments, big wins, behind the scenes content, showing what your life is like behind the scenes. Just anything where it just shows you, basically. It shows you in action. It shows you not being your perfect self. That's kind of like almost a personality post. And some examples of like mine that I posted was this video where I talked about how I lost 100,000 followers in one day, which is true, which is crazy, which is a crazy story, by the way. If you want, you can check out that video on my page. Another one, actually, I want to show here is a YouTube video where literally, I want to show you this YouTube video because 2 years ago, this YouTube video I created, basically, I did in my hotel room. Long story short, I was flown out by Adobe to join their AI Leadership Summit in San Francisco. And I loved it so much. And that was my first time ever getting flown out. And I was just such in awe of it that I literally just went back to my hotel room and just made a video about why I think every business owner needs to create content. Because when I first started creating content, I didn't do it for the brandos getting flown out. I just wanted to sign a few more clients. But after, doing all this and learning and see so many opportunities come my way, I just talked from like my heart, and I just went fully into like why everyone needs to be creating content, just talking from my own experience. In this video alone, even though it only has like 940 views, it brought in almost $8,000 in client revenue for me. So it just goes to show when you try to be your personal self and people really like fuck with you, they will pay you money. So those are the 3 types of personality posts. And here's a short checklist. You could pause this if you want and see it, but we'll quickly go through. Now the question is, how often should you actually create each types of posts, right? Because each one has its own goal here. Well, first of all, if you are between 0 to 1,000 followers, you just need more followers, obviously, if you want to make more money. So the goal would be to really to get people follow you. So what I recommend for every 10 posts is make 5 of them engagement posts. Again, very top of funnel, very broad pieces of content that will get views. Make 3 of them then authority pieces of content, and then just make 2 of them personality content. If you're between 1,000 to 30,000 followers, your goal is to really get to people to see you more of an industry expert, because you already have a ton of people following you. We now just need to convert them into actual clients. And to help with that, well, to help a lot with that, they actually need to see you as an expert in your space. So for every 10 posts, still post around a decent amount of engagement posts, so that way you're still growing your following. Post now 1 more authority post, and then still keep the personality posts about 2, because again, these won't do as well, personality posts, but the goal is just to get them to help build trust and connection with the people who already know you. And then finally, if you're over 30,000 followers, the goal is just to get more people to trust you. You have a lot of people following you. We just need to get them to trust you even more so that you can convert them faster and they'll pay you more. So that's when you want to post about 3 engagement, 4 authority, about 3 personality posts. Now let's go into the actual AI stuff, because that was just the technical, boring stuff. Let's go into how to use AI to actually help you create all this content faster. So I do this in, I think, about 4 to 5 steps. I forgot honestly how much I put here, but step 1 is to figure out who your exact ideal clients are, because so many people have no idea who is what's called like their ICP, their ideal customer persona, and who exactly who they should be targeting. So what I did was I actually used ChatGPT's deep research model to do this even for myself and for my clients, to really figure out who is the exact person I should be targeting. So you guys will be able to get this prompt too that I'm about to show. You can actually download this whole document using the link in the description. But this prompt right here, I created to figure out who my ICP would be. And to actually use this prompt, all you got to do is fill out this onboarding doc with all of your info. Just basically just answering some questions here, describing what you do, what's your story, who's your target audience, biggest lessons you've learned in the industry, yada, 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 all these other stuff. Just answer all these questions so that way you kind of have a master doc of all your results, who you think your target audience is, what's your story, beliefs that you have, myths that you're trying to bust. You just need all of this in a master doc. That way ChatGPT can really go through it, really understand it, and see who is your exact ideal client. So what I would do is right now, if you have no idea who your exact ideal clients is, like if you can't pinpoint them and know exactly what they do day in and day out, then use this prompt and use ChatGPT's deep research model. Because I actually did it before recording this video just to show you. And because if I did it on this video, it would take too long. But essentially, look at this. It creates a full plan for me. It gets me to understand who the demographics are of the audience, what's their psychographics, a personal deep dive of them, and who basically I should be targeting. And just look how much info it gives you, and even some messaging things I can have to resonate with them. Like, this is such a sick way just to understand who your ICP is, because usually maybe you would have like a consultant or you have to do like deep research yourself. Again, we have AI, just use AI. It's going to make things way easier. So I would just use, again, if you have no idea who your exact ideal clients are, try out this prompt and then use ChatGPT's deep research model. Again, you would just plug in this prompt. Let me just copy this real quick just to show you. You would just copy this prompt in here. Basically just upload whatever file, upload the file of your onboarding doc, and then press deep research, and then it'll go out and spit and basically tell you who your ideal customer or ideal client should be. All right. So that's step 1 before you even do anything. And before even you really create content, is know exactly who you're targeting. It's going to make everything easier. Then step 2 is to find proven content ideas using AI. Because again, if you're new to creating content, you want to create content on proven ideas over original, because if you're trying to create original content, it's much harder to understand what actually works. And it's just going to it's going to take you longer to get real results. So there's some easy ways to actually find proven content ideas. And one of my favorite ways is to use this AI tool called Midro. because Meedro has like two really good features in it. So I actually have it opened up here. And basically Meedro has what's called the Viral Library and Viral Finder feature. Basically with the Viral Library feature here, you basically click on it, and we'll let it load up here. It was kind of slow today, so we'll see how long it takes. Let me zoom in here. Okay, there we go. So with the Viral Library feature, it's really cool because what you can do is you can just pick your niche, whatever niche you're in. So let's say I was in the finance niche. And then essentially, it's going to pop up a ton of viral videos in that niche. And with Meedro, it scrapes about, I believe, 1,000 videos a day. So there's always new viral videos popping up that's going to put inside of its database. And then what you could do is just go through these viral videos and just see the patterns. What are the ideas that people are consistently creating content about? What are the styles? Basically, how are they presenting that video? Are they doing like a reaction-based video? Are they doing a talking head video? Like this video is a talking head video, I believe. Right? This video, I think, it's more of like a skit-based. This video is more of a skit-based video. So you can actually see which styles are doing really good in your niche and you can adopt it. Because what a lot of people won't tell you is that different styles and formats work. Different styles and formats basically work in like all these different niches. They work better. Like this kind of style will work better in this niche, maybe not so much in like the real estate niche and so on. So that's what's really cool about Viral Finder. It's an easy way to find a bunch of viral videos. And then what you can even do, which is a dope feature they have, is you can actually press the insights here and you can actually copy like or see what their full video script is, see what the topic of the video is, see what the hook is, and actually see like the metrics of the video, like the views, likes, comments, and everything. So it's one of my favorite tools now for finding proven content ideas because all I do is go to content marketing, which is my niche, and I kind of just like scroll through the videos that will pop up here. Now, the next feature that they have is, which is also a really cool feature that I use a lot, is actually what's called their Viral Finder feature. So with Viral Finder, you can actually upload or just put in someone's username, and then it's going to get like their last, let's say, how many reels you want, 25 reels, 50 reels, 100 reels, or whatever. And it can organize them from most to least views. So if you only want to look at maybe 1 to 5 creators and you really want to dial in on their videos and not see like a bunch of videos from a bunch of other creators, this would probably be a better tool for you to use. So I'm going to show you here real quick. So we're just going to do it on my profile. I'm just going to put down only Zeta. Let's say I want to take a look at my last 50 reels. We'll press analyze. And it's going to take a couple of seconds. So I'll just cut this when it's actually done. Okay, so right here we have all of my like kind of last like 50 reels that I posted. And what I could do is I could just sort it by most views here. And now we have my last 50 reels all sorted by views. So now, again, if I was taking a look, let's say this was another creator's profile and I was trying to look at videos for inspiration, I would look at the kind of their most viewed videos. I would look at the content ideas they were creating. And again, with Meedro, I can then download these videos or even get the full script of them as well. So that's just the second step. The second step is essentially just find some proven content ideas just using AI. So that way you can kind of recreate those ideas, see which styles that are working in your niche, and kind of adopt those styles for your own videos. Okay. Then step 3 is actually scripting content with the help of AI. Now, I'm big against just using ChatGPT or Claude to actually just give you the full script. Like, hey, give me a script about this topic, because I don't think it comes out really good. So what I found best is actually to find a proven script. You already find a script that's working and just use different content frameworks to actually rewrite the script and make it a little different, but to keep that same core idea. Because usually why most videos go viral is usually, number 1, the hook. Number 2, it's just the idea itself. So if you're going to rewrite a script, keep that same core idea, but you could change things around. You could change like the hook around, the sentence after the hook, maybe the CTA, how the value is presented, but you could still keep that core idea the same. So here's exactly kind of a behind the scenes of how exactly I write my scripts. So step 1 is I find a proven script or an idea. Then I try to figure out these 3 things. I try to figure out what type of video do I want to create. Do I want this to be an engagement video, authority video, personality video? Because any idea can turn into these 3 videos. For example, let's say the idea was how to post 7 times per week, right? That would be an engagement piece of content. How I would turn that to an authority piece of content is maybe talking about why posting 7 times per week is hurting your profile. And maybe people shift beliefs into that you don't have to post 7 times per week. Maybe 3 times per week is fine, and you're actually going to post better content. And then maybe a personality post is just talking about how I specifically am, what's my process for posting 7 times per week, or what happened to me when I went from posting 7 times per week to 3 times per week and sharing my results. Again, just personality is just more about you, your own personal stories, more behind the scenes stuff. And then what I try to figure out is how can I make this video better or different, right? How can I make the hook better, the value better, the style better? Just figure out what is missing in this video that I wish was in that video and just add it to my own video. And then the last thing I just think is that will my exact ideal clients find this video useful or attract them? If the answer is yes to, again, all threes, I could do this, I go ahead and create the video. Then the next thing I do is I actually rewrite the video. And I actually use kind of one of my main scripting prompts here that, you know what, I will show you. I'll show you right now how to use it. All right, so I just put my prompt into Claude here, and let me show you exactly how it works. So the first thing it's going to do, it's going to ask me the topic of the video I want created. Now, again, I'm taking this from a proven idea. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to rewrite kind of this proven video here because it got over like 1 million views. So this video, I believe, is never post on Instagram without, turning on these 3 settings. So we'll put that as our topic for the video. So never post on Instagram without turning on these 3 settings. And I totally messed that up. All right. Anyway, next one. And then essentially it's going to ask us to now put in the proven script that we want our script based on. So I'm just going to go here, go to Insights. I'm going to copy the script, paste it into here. All right. And then next what it's going to do, it's basically going to ask me if I want a growth or conversion script. So a growth script is essentially more of an engagement-based video, while conversion script is more of an authority-based video. So we're just going to make this, let's say, a growth script. That's what I want. Create more of an engagement piece of content. And then it's going to give me 6 hook options that I can pick from because I never let like Claude or ChatGPT pick the hook for me. I want to give me a bunch of options so that I could choose. So let's do, let's see, there are 3. So most creators are sabotaging their account by default. Let's do this one. Why not? Most creators are sabotaging their Instagram growth with default settings. Why not? We'll use this one that it picked. And then lastly, what it's going to do, it's going to ask me for the CTA or how do I want to end the video. So we're just going to end it with a takeaway. And then basically then it's going to take a look at the script. It's going to use our hook. It's kind of going to rewrite the script in its own unique way, but we're still going to keep that same core idea. And there we go. So now it's just writing it. And then essentially I have the script for my video done, but basically it's not fully done. It's like 80% done. I now then just go in, I kind of fix a few sentences up. Maybe I fix some of the value, but I have like most of the structure of the script done. So it massively improves scripting time for myself. So this is kind of one of the main scripting prompts I use. I can't give it to you guys, but I do have a bunch of other script prompts that can rewrite scripts for you that you can check out here. Again, when you download this document below, if you do download it. Again, you should though, because there's a lot of sauce and a lot of value in this. And then lastly, after I actually write the script, I actually just use AI to now improve the scripts. For example, one of my favorite tools that I use is called the Hemingway Editor, where essentially, let's take this full script that Claude created. I can copy it, put it into Hemingway here, and then I can actually see which sentences is actually hard for the viewer to read. If you see here, the readability is at grade 11. We don't want that. Again, we want like grade 5 readability. So I know that the readability needs to be adjusted, and I know these sentences are very hard to read, so I'd probably change these just to make it easier to try to get it, either into a yellow or just like not at all. So that's like one way I would use AI. Another way that I use AI to really help is I actually use ChatGPT to improve the sentence structure and flow of the script. Claude, for some reason, isn't great at this that I found. Like if you ask Claude to improve the sentence structure, it kind of just gives you like the same exact script, which I don't like. So what I actually do is like I'll copy this script and then I'll go to ChatGPT and I'll ask it, make this script more clear and reduce it down to a 5th grade reading level, or like a 6th grade reading level. 6th grade would probably be better, but we'll just leave at 5th, and improve the flow. And then I'll just paste it. And then usually what I get out is an improved and a more clear script. And I do this all the time with like literally all of my scripts, and it works very well actually. Okay. And then the last thing I do also is sometimes if I feel like the scripts it gives me isn't good or not how I would say the scripts, what I just do is I can upload a tone of voice doc, which is basically a doc that just has my tone of voice. It has transcripts of some of my YouTube videos and podcasts I've been on. It analyzes my tone of voice, and then I just use the AI to rewrite like this script just in my exact tone of voice. So those are just some ways I actually improve the scripts with the help of AI. And then after the scripts are done, I go ahead and I record the scripts. Now, here's some ways that you can actually make recording faster using AI. Now, first of all, you can use an AI avatar if you really don't want to be on camera, or if you just don't have time to be on camera, because we are getting to a point where they are becoming very, very good. And here are just two examples. First one here is Varun Maya. Now, Varun Maya has been able to scale his profile to about over 1 million followers, mostly using an AI avatar. Like in this video, this is an AI avatar. This isn't actually him. He's just trained an AI to look like him, which is pretty crazy. So you could do that too. And then another example here is AI Surfer, who in this video, again, like this is an AI. Like this actually isn't him talking, which is pretty crazy. It looks so real, and he's been able to, again, grow his profile to, I think, almost 500,000 followers. So if you really don't want to record content yourself, you can use an AI avatar now. And some tools that you can actually use to create these avatars is in video. They have a new AI avatar feature, or like HeyGen. Let me open up HeyGen. I'll actually show you mine real quick. So here's my AI avatar I actually built in HeyGen. It looks pretty close to me, I would say. Like, it's actually crazy. When I built this out the first time, I was like, damn, that looks so realistic. But yeah, you could do this in HeyGen if you guys want to try it. Now, to also help your recording be faster, if you don't want to use an AI, you can either use a teleprompter, but that's going to cost you maybe $100 to $300, or you can also use V.AI's eye contact correction. It's its own tool where basically you kind of read off your script from the side, but then the AI will fix your eyes so then you're looking straight at the camera. So that's also another way that I found to make recording a lot easier using AI. Now let's actually go into the editing part. So to edit with AI, again, there's so many tools out there, but I'm just going to show you the ones that I use to help improve your editing process to make it a lot faster. First of all, I typically use Gling.ai to remove any bad takes and silences from my video. And just to give you an example here and how easy it is to actually use this AI, essentially what you would do is just upload your video into this AI. It'll give you a transcript, and then you literally just like cut the lines out that aren't good. Like, let's say that's not a good line. Let's say that was a bad take. And then like uncut the lines that are good. And then it's going to create one cohesive video that you could just download. So it's super user friendly, and I love it for that. So that would be step one, right? Step one, whenever you're editing a video, take all the bad takes and silences out, get one cohesive video. Then if you want to actually improve the audio, Adobe Podcast is a great way to improve your audio. All you do is upload or go to enhanced speech here, upload your audio file, and it'll actually turn it into like studio level quality. So Adobe Podcast is really great for that. And then if you actually want to use AI to add captions, do B-roll, do transitions, do basically everything for you, just fully edit your video using AI, the best AI tool that I found to do this, and I've used a lot for this, is Captions.ai. And I can't really show you here on the computer because it's kind of dog shit. I'm not going to lie, on PC, but it's really good for the phone. So if you're editing on the phone, Captions.ai is a really good tool. If you are editing probably on PC or your laptop, probably CapCut would be a lot better though. Okay. And then here's a bonus for you. If you want to create full AI videos, you can actually use Veo 3, which is Google's new basically AI video generator model. And here's actually a really cool site where you can find a ton of other people that are actually creating these AI full-length videos. And you can see how incredible they are. And the cool thing is you can actually see the prompts of these too, which is insane. Like, this is like, I love just going out here and just seeing inspiration. It's one of my favorite things to do. Like, this is all created into AI, and you can see like the full prompts they're using, so that way you can help just get more inspiration for you to generate your own videos. All right. So again, you can check out that link when you get in this document. Now, when you create content very consistently and stick, with this content funnel system of posting engagement, authority, and personality content to attract new people, build up your expertise, and also create trust and connection with your audience, you're going to notice something amazing is going to start to happen. You'll actually notice that your exact ideal clients will start to follow you. They're going to engage with their content, and your DMs will start filling up with people asking if you're selling anything. This does naturally happen, and that is your sign that, hey, the content is working. The content is attracting the right people. And guess what? It's getting them to follow me and engage with me. And when you see that shift and you see that it's working, then it's time to move to phase 2. In phase 2 is all about turning those followers into actual paying clients and getting that money. Now after you built a following of your ideal clients, the next thing you need to do to really make sure you're extracting as much money from your audience as possible is to build what I call an automated sales ecosystem that turns followers into paying customers automatically. Now, it's a simple system that links your content across multiple platforms in a way that builds deep trust quickly so you can turn strangers into paying clients up to 5 times faster. Because the thing about just posting on Instagram is like you have so much competition out there, and so many people right now have just been scammed and lied to before. So now trust is at an all-time low. So to create the kind of trust with someone where they feel comfortable spending, $1,000 on you, it's very hard to do that, I found, on Instagram alone, because most people only see you for 30 seconds a day. So when you combine like a multiple platforms together and get someone to go from, let's say, Instagram to reading medium-length email to watching a long-form YouTube video like you're doing right now, it builds trust. It builds up trust literally 5 to 10 times faster, and you will sign more clients at a higher price because of this. And this ecosystem is built out into 3 steps that we're going to go over. First step is to give out a lead magnet in exchange for your email to grow your email list and get followers really in your ecosystem. Step 2 is what I call a new lead sequence to then nurture those subs. And then step 3 is your YouTube VSL, which is going to be kind of your main sales asset to convert those subscribers to customers. So let's go into step 1. So step 1, give out a lead magnet in exchange for your email. So right now, your ideal clients are following you, but you now need to nurture them more by relating to their current situation struggles, by showing them why they need to solve this problem now rather than later, and showing why your methods to get results is better than any other. You need to do these 3 things to convince someone to pay you $1,000 for your product or service. And this is very hard to do just through short form and 30 seconds reel, because the moment you get salesy in your reels, most people just scroll off. So to get them basically on a platform and to get them to just learn more about you, your product or service, and where to actually sell them, the best place that you could do it on is through a direct communication channel like email. And to get them onto your email list, the greatest thing you can do right now is just create a lead magnet, which is a free resource that quickly solves a problem your ideal client has. And basically, in exchange for that lead magnet, you make someone have to give you their email. That's why everyone does lead magnet. It's the only reason most people do lead magnets. So to give out this lead magnet and collect emails automatically, you can actually use a ManyChat automation like this. And it's never been easier to grow an email list, especially with Instagram and ManyChat, because all you need to do is create a video, and at the end of the video or in the middle of the video, tell people to comment a keyword to get a free resource that you know people will want. Like, for example, in my niche, everybody wants background music because nobody can find good background music or a list of background music. So a really good lead magnet for me to create is just a database of background music or the most popular background music tracks that are working on Instagram, and just give it to people. And that would get a ton of people to comment on my video. And then what I would do is I would set up this ManyChat automation where, if we look here, how this works is essentially someone comments on my reel. I ask them, hey, thanks for commenting. You're looking for this resource, right? They press this button, they say yes. And then I say, awesome, just making sure. Now to get the resource for free, just please leave me your email below. They leave the email. I add a little tag here. Now this is what's called an action in ManyChat. And basically when someone just sends me their email in the DMs, it automatically gets uploaded to my email list. And this is how I get upwards of even 20 to over 100 emails a day. And then after that, I just send them the lead magnet. And just like that. So that is a very easy way to get people on your email list and grow your email list very fast. I literally know creators who off one video have grown their email list to 10 to even 20,000 followers, literally off of one viral video. It's so easy to grow your email list nowadays. And again, you can actually clone this automation just by pressing this link if you have no idea how to use ManyChat or set this up. Then step 2 is to create what's called a new lead sequence, where the goal is to really nurture subscribers. Because once someone gives you their email for your lead magnet, right, you officially have them kind of in your ecosystem, right? Unlike Instagram, where they'll basically pick who to show your video to, with email, every single email you create will go to people on your email list. Now, the thing is, most people who get your lead magnet will have no idea what you sell or how you can help them solve their problem because it's probably the first time they've seen you, especially if your reel is going to like non-followers. So you need to nurture these people and convince them that they have a problem they need to solve and that they need to solve that problem right now and that you're the one to help them. And to do this, what I do is I like to set up what's called a new lead sequence, which is essentially 5 emails over 5 days. So right when someone gets my lead magnet, they're sent 5 emails within 5 days. And within these 5 emails, basically this is how I structure it. Email 1, I just welcome them and just give them the lead magnet. Obviously, they put their email for in case they don't get it in the DMs. Email 2, I just make the prospect more aware of the problem they have. So for example, again, I am helping coaches, consultants, business owners grow organically on social media. And basically the problem that I would make them aware of is like why they need to be on organic, why paid ads aren't working, or how costs are getting higher for them, and just make them more aware of the problem. Like, hey, it's only getting more competitive on organic. You need to start now. It's getting harder. And just, yeah, I would just kind of just focus on really dialing in on that problem and making them be like, holy shit, I got to get this fixed right now. And then email number 3, I would just share a personal story about kind of that same problem I talked about here. Like I would talk about how a couple years ago, I had my own agency and I was doing a bunch of cold emails and it sucked. I hated writing cold emails. And what I noticed was it was hard to sign clients. Paid ads were getting harder too. And basically I would talk about how I solved that problem, which was maybe creating organic content, or it actually was creating organic content. Why am I saying that? But yeah, I would share a personal story about the same problem, then I'd hint at how I actually solved it. Then email number 4, I would just direct them to my main conversion or sales asset, which is my YouTube VSL, which we'll go to in a sec, to learn how I actually solved that problem more in depth. And then email number 5, I would just create urgency to really make them watch that video now rather than later, because a lot of people might look at the email, see that there's a video, see that the video is maybe 10 to maybe 20 minutes long or even longer than that. And they might be like, I don't want to watch that right now. But you really want to get people to this video because it's going to be the main thing that's going to sell them on your product or service. And then that moves us to step 3, which is the YouTube VSL, where the goal is now to convert the subscribers to actual customers. So a YouTube VSL is basically just a sales video disguised as almost like a free training that attracts your ideal audience and provides value and primes them to take the next step with your paid offer. And here's the framework typically I created. It starts off with a hook. You explain who this video is for or not for. You go into your story or transformation. So basically where you were before said thing, where you are now, basically their desire. Then you go into the 3 common beliefs you had to destroy to get there. You go into client results if you have any. You go into what's called a 3-phase roadmap, which is your roadmap and plan to get people from where they are now to their desires or results. And then you show more client results, or you even invite them to your offer. Now, if you want, you can watch mine by clicking this link here. But also, if you want to get a full AI prompt that will fully create your YouTube VSL for you and all your emails for you, I have like full AI prompts for all of these in my inner circle, which is the place where I help the coaches, course creators and business owners grow organically on social media and get more sales. So if you're interested in that, just DM me the word inner to my IG and we'll talk and I'll tell you a little bit more about it. All right. But by the time someone finishes your VSL, right, if they go through your full VSL, like this one's 36 minutes for me, I actually shrunk it down a little bit more now, but they should already be almost 90% sold if they got to that point and they read your emails and they watch your Instagram stories. Your only job now is to really tell them how to take the next step, whether that's booking call or sending you a DM. And then what you're going to see is that the more people you push to this video, the more people are going to be interested in your offer, and you're going to sign a lot more clients as your Instagram following starts to grow and as your email list starts to grow as well. And then after you kind of create this video and you start signing clients, you actually face a new challenge, which is how do you make more money without doing more work? Because if you sign clients, you got to do more fulfillment, right? And that's what phase 3 is all about. How do you scale without actually do more? Because I'm a very firm believer that I don't want to make a lot of money if it's going to take me also working extremely hard and being stressed out of that mind. And thankfully, I found a few ways to be able to still make a lot of money, but also not work that much and actually work less than what I was, a year and a half ago. Now, most people out there believe that to make more money, they need to, create more content, launch more products, take more sales calls, run more ads, work more hours. This is probably true for you right now if you're watching this. Now, the easiest way to scale is actually by creating leverage in your business, which is what are the levers that you can pull right now that can generate more cash without you doing more work? And there's many different ways to create leverage in your business. But one of the most powerful forms of leverage I found is by using what I call a product ladder. And it means just having one core product, but offering it at different levels of access and price. So just to give you an example of this, like most people out there are always creating new products and services, which means they have to launch new promotions, and that takes so much work. Instead, what you should do is create one product and just offer different levels of access to you. For example, what you can do is offer what I call like a level 1 course, which is between $50 to $200, which takes no time away from you. It's just someone buys a course, they just do it on their own. Then what you can do is you can actually upsell them and create what's called a level 2 community, which is basically like a school community. And you can offer that for like $1,000 to $3,000, where essentially all they're getting is like a weekly call with you, maybe a private chat with you too, or just a public chat or a community chat, and then the course. But again, you're not creating a new product, you're just offering kind of more access to you. Then if for the people that really want help and really want to work with you personally, you can offer more of a one-on-one mentorship between $3,000 to $10,000. Or again, you're not creating any new products, you're just giving them more access to you and more access of your time. Then finally, what you could do for the people that don't even want to do anything themselves, they kind of just want you to do everything. Then you can offer like a done-for-you service between $5,000 to $10,000 plus. Now, the great thing with this is, again, you're creating just one product and just changing the level of access people get to you. And with this structure, what happens is that you serve more people without working more, you scale your income without scaling your stress, and you keep your business simple, profitable, and lifestyle driven, right? It's a win-win-win. So that's the 3 phases right now. But the thing is, right, these 3 phases, they're simple. They seem relatively simple, but they're not easy. You see, most people either create the wrong content, they create a lot more engagement content, which then gets followers but doesn't bring people that want to buy, or they create a lot of personality posts, which brings a lot of the wrong followers. Again, here, it tracks like the law of the wrong followers. Or their emails and their videos suck and only sell, which leads to no sales because you're just always too salesy. And oftentimes, most people, they have no idea how to even set up the funnels and automations, how to get someone from a ManyChat to an email, how to do like an email sequence and get people from email to YouTube. It's where a lot of people get messed up usually. So if you actually want to avoid all this and just shortcut the entire process and have myself just help you build the exact system I just walked you through, then what I want you to do is just DM me the word in or on Instagram, and we'll just have a chat to see how I can help. All right. So I hope this video was valuable to you. Again, these are the exact 3 phases you can go through to make over $20K a month for your personal brand using AI. And again, you can download this exact doc with all the resources using the link in the description. And you can start doing it by yourself if you want no help. All right. Hope you found this video valuable. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.